Hi guys, welcome back to the A Wave of Metal podcast. This is Anderson Thiago, your host, and I'm also the person behind the New Wave Traditional Heavy Metal Full Albums channel on YouTube and a DJ at Gimme Radio. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. Our last episode with Geoff Blackwell from Gatekeeper got a lot of positive feedback. Thank you so much for it. And we even got a new patron. I want to give a shout out to her. It's Mina. She's the singer of the Spanish heavy metal band Cramp. They are going to release a new album in 2019. And when we have the release date, I will talk about it here and on my Facebook page. And of course, when it's out, if possible, I will try to share it on the channel. Thank you so much, Mina, for donating to the podcast, to the channel. And if you want to join her, our Patreon link is on the description and you can donate through there. Now, before we begin, let's talk about our sponsor for today's episode. Have Sound Studio, run by Artur Migoto from Artorium Records. An experienced heavy metal musician and producer, Artur knows how heavy metal should sound. Have Sound Studio offers services such as remote mixing, mastering, remastering for licensed reissues, and audio restoration. Specialized in contextual mix and vintage old school sound, and soon with a recording facility and pro audio gear manufacturing. Check the website havetron.com. It's HEAVYTRON, havetron.com. Our guests for today's episode come from one of the most exciting newcomer acts out of Canada nowadays. Started as a two-man project in 2017, they released probably my favorite demo of 2018, attracting stellar reviews from all over the world. Now they have a full established lineup and have just put out their self-titled debut album via Gates of Hell Records. Today we are talking with
Chad
and Matt Ries,
Toryin Schadlich,
and Dave Arnold.
Just Chad.
Just Chad.
Chad has no last name.
Nope.
from Traveler. I've been following Traveler since the demo release. It's still one of the best demos featured on the New Wave Traditional Heavy Metal Full Albums channel. And it's awesome to have you here less than a year later to talk about your first full length, like I said, via Gates of Hell Records. How things have changed for Traveler since May 2018?
Well, now we're a full band, so there's a big difference there. So before it was just me and JP and Jan Lonchik doing the session drums. So after the demo got some buzz, I was able to get some of my good friends on board. So now we're all together. So that's a big change.
So you, like I said, you recorded the demo with Jan Lonchik as a session drummer and JP also with you. But
Yeah.
now for the full length, you have a full lineup. Can you introduce the guys and how did you find them?
Well, I've known Chad for a long time,
10
like
years.
about 10 years, yeah, something like that. But we used to jam in another band together, like in my other band, Home. So we've had history just playing gigs together before.
Yeah.
So
Known each other since Boston Windows out of bands.
yeah, lots of partying and hating our lives the next day and whatever. And then Toryin, you've just been around.
I've kind of been around. I heard you were looking for a guitar player, so I contacted you, or you contacted me, one of the two.
Yeah, one or the other. Yeah.
And just kind of went from there, then jammed a couple of times, and kind of worked out.
Yeah. I looked him in the eye, I touched his leg, and then I asked him to be with forever.
He obliged.
Yeah. And then Dave was our fucking savior, man, because I didn't know who we could get for bass at the time, and I was kind of racking my brain about it. And then I got this awesome message from Dave saying he was interested.
Yeah.
I had a buddy of mine. I was on a camping trip in the mountains, and driving home, my buddy was playing some tunes. And he shows me, "Oh, this is Matt's new band from Calgary. You know Matt?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm a good friend of mine." "That's his new band, Traveler. Check it out." And he starts playing the demo for me. I'm like, at first I'm like, "Oh yeah, another run of the mill classic heavy metal thing, whatever." And then by like the first chorus of Starbreaking, I'm like, "This is awesome." And I thought, I wonder if he's looking for a bass player.
Yeah.
So I just got a hold of him, and Bob's your uncle. Here we are.
Yeah.
My eyes lit up pretty good when Matt told me about that one.
Yeah, Dave's a fucking man.
Oh, shut up.
That's true because with all respect to Chad and Toryin, because I know Chad plays in Riot City, an excellent band, and Toryin also plays with thrash metal with Hazard. But Dave Arnold from Striker, it was good. It was great to see you back, Dave.
Jeez, my face is turning red here, man. All right.
He's blushing. He's blushing hard.
Yeah, I took a bit of an extended hiatus from when I left Striker. I just kind of like, pursued other interests in life, and I knew eventually I want to get back into playing music. I tried writing some of my own solo stuff, but I was never able to find people to jam with. So I kind of just gave it a rest for a while, and then I always had it back in my head. Maybe one day I'll get back into playing with a band, and that's when luck have it. My friend Clayton showed me Matt's demo, and here we are.
Yeah, it worked out nicely.
Yeah.
And the self-titled full-length contained 3 tracks previously available on the demo, as well as 5 new songs. One of them is an instrumental. How was the writing process for the album?
Well, I had these songs in the bank before I got the rest of the guys in on it. So they were already written. I mostly wrote them just by myself, right? So
Yeah, I just had to come in and lay drums to them.
yeah. So like
Made it pretty easy.
Yeah. So me and Chad would just like get together in my little spare room there with an electronic kit and just kind of jam and get familiar with the songs until we were ready to take them to the studio. So they were all like mapped out beforehand. So it made it easy for everyone to just kind of learn them. So that's kind of how that went down. It won't be like that for the next album because I want everyone's input, right? But
we already started that kind of with the trail for the compilation.
yeah, exactly.
That one was more you and me collaborate. Well, you had it written, but we kind of collaborate on the structure of it and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. And at least, yeah. So it'll be a little different the next time, but I don't know. As a starting point, it was easiest to just have it all mapped out beforehand and then just.
And they were great songs too. So.
Well, it worked out. Yeah. People seem to like it.
So you're talking about the compilation Trapped Under Ice?
Yeah, that one I had mapped out beforehand as well, but me and Chad, jammed along with it again, like in my spare room there. And this was before I had Dave on board, so I asked Jean-Pierre Fortin from Deaf Dealer to do the bass, and I couldn't believe how stoked he was to actually do it because he heard the demo and he was immediately hooked on that too. So, and he's like one of my fucking heroes, man. Like I love Deaf Dealer, so I was surprised to be able to work with him so easily.
Laid down a wicked bass track, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Gave me a run for my money.
Yeah, he actually sent me a message about an hour ago. He said he was listening to Traveler while he's hiking. And he sent me a picture. Sent me a picture of himself hiking in the mountains.
Is it warm enough out east to hike right now?
It's fucking cold, man. It's cold everywhere.
That's hardcore.
It's freezing. Yeah, he's a
JP Forden, hardcore hiker.
hardcore hiker dad. Yeah, he's awesome.
Speaking about the compilation, I'm having Anik as a guest on my Gimme Radio show this month, and we are playing the whole compilation and a few other songs by Canadian bands, so it will be a Canadian special.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of talent in this country.
Yeah, the compilation.
It just keeps getting stronger every year.
Yeah, it's wicked. And Anik's the shit, man. She works so fucking hard. She's one of the most legit people within the scene for sure across Canada. She busts her ass and it shows.
Yeah, there were a lot of bands that I didn't know before the compilation, and even her own band.
Coach Mar.
Yes, it was a great surprise. I think it was the one that I didn't know that caught my attention.
Yeah, Coach Mar's great. All the bands on that compilation are insane. I'm really stoked on Freeways lately.
Yeah, that
Killer.
was rough. Good shot.
You just mentioned my favorite, with all due respect to Traveler, but I was...
Whoa. Hey! Don't finish that sentence. No, Freeways is fucking awesome, man. They're total, like, genuine Thin Lizzy rock and roll, man. You don't really hear that these days. So.
Yeah, it was sweet. Some of our friends were able to make it on that too, like Black Rat, Metallion. Like we know all those guys from a while back too, and it was awesome to see them get on there too.
Yeah.
But let's go back to talk about the full length. I already consider Starbreaker a Traveler classic. It's a song I think you'll still be playing 20 years from now when you're touring to promote your 10th album.
Sick.
I
hope
50.
so. Yeah, that's flattering, man.
I
Thanks.
don't plan on stopping.
Yeah.
Like Iron Maiden from Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Toryin will still be a pup.
Yeah. He'll still be 21 20 years from now.
But let me ask you, which songs from the new album you think have potential to be on the set list for a long time?
Well, Street Machine for sure. That's why we picked that one to be the single. We thought it was really strong.
Yeah, that one. I don't know. You know what? I was actually kind of surprised that I wasn't sure how people would receive Fallen Heroes, but it seems people are latching onto that one lately too. So yeah. So who knows, man? I don't know. Whatever the people want.
It's kind of anthemy.
Yeah.
It's anthemy. Yeah. It's anthemy getting people to sing along to it, like raising your glass to the fallen heroes, but it's also like making fun of those people at the same time. So it's I don't know. Who knows, man? Like whatever the people want, we'll fucking play it, man. So
I think it's time for us to listen to our first song for the day. Which song it will be?
I don't know. What do you think? Starbreaker?
Starbreaker, yeah.
Seems to be our anthem these days, so it's a good starting point.
So let's go Starbreaker.
Change our way.
So I suppose you'll be playing the whole album for the next shows.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. I think Keep It True, we probably only have a half an hour, I'm assuming.
It'll be longer. I mean, I think it's 40 minutes.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
40?
we have 40, so we can
Yeah.
probably play the whole album.
Probably play the whole thing, yeah. So I guess we'll see. But yeah.
Close to at least.
Yeah, for sure.
Turn it into speed metal and play everything.
Yeah.
Or you can just do like Night Demon. I saw Night Demon last year, and they wouldn't speak with the audience between the songs. They were just playing and playing and playing song after song without talking anything with the audience.
Yeah,
yeah.
That works out good when you have a shorter set. You just kind of punch them in the face and say goodnight.
Yeah.
Talk afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on the band. Banter works, but I mean, it's not always necessary. So I'm sure we'll make fun of JP a little bit.
Okay, let me ask you this one. Traveler share its singer, Jean-Pierre or JP, with Gatekeeper. When I saw you were both releasing material at the same time, I thought, oh man, this is going to be confusing. But I couldn't be more wrong. JP sounds very different in your album compared to Gatekeepers.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a conscious effort from his part to achieve this, or is it just because the band's styles are so diverse?
Gotta be the style.
I think that plays for all of us. Like, I know my drumming's a lot different on this one than the Riot City album, and Torrin's guitar playing's a lot different than what he's used to and has.
It's way different. Like
So I think we all kind of made a conscious effort to not make this like our existing projects.
Yeah, and like Gatekeeper also downtunes, right? So his singing is going to be in a different octave. And I don't know, the overall songs are, faster,
Different
punchier. They're just it's a different style, so it's not really like they don't really cross paths too much,
And that's just really a tribute to how good of how dynamic of a vocalist JP is. He can really, he can do the epic stuff quite well. He can do the fast stuff very well. He's a fantastic singer.
Yeah, he's the fucking man too.
We flip the hell out of a pizza.
He's so good at making pizza. Actually, when I saw him make a pizza, that's what made me want him to join the band.
He makes pizza.
Yeah, he makes pizzas.
Yeah.
I thought okay.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Dave hasn't been around long enough for JP's pizzas.
Yeah.
I've only heard the legends.
He makes a really good taco too. So, yeah.
So JP is the singer and cook.
Yeah, he's band caterer for
Especially
sure.
from here on out.
Actually, Dave's mom makes a killer breakfast as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. We stayed at his place, and his mom.
They crashed my place. My mom made a fucking wicked pancake breakfast for everybody. It was awesome.
Yeah, goddamn right. That's great.
So Matt, Traveler is your brainchild, but you also play in bands like Gatecrasher and Rome. Why did you decide to start another project? And are there any news concerning these other bands? And I think Chad and Toryin can also answer the same question about Riot City and Hazard.
Right. Well, Gatecrasher's on a hiatus right now. I mean, our bass player moved to Toronto, but we still got Stu from Black Rat to fill in on a couple shows. Like we did Frost and Fire a year or two ago, plus a couple one-off shows. But for the most part, we're not really doing much. So it kind of gave me more time to be able to focus on Traveler a little more. And Chrome is still going strong. It's a little slow. So again, it just gave me time to focus on another thing. And I've had these ideas in the back of my head for a long time. So it was nice to branch out and try something on my own. So that was that'd be mostly the reason why I would decide to do something else. But Chrome's still doing our thing. Like we're in the middle of recording Powerheart Part 2. And we released a single earlier this year, or last year, over the winter anyways. Just a 2-song single. And yeah, man, so we're still working hard. We got a show March 30th. and we're doing our thing, so staying busy. Well, Toryin.
Hazard, we just finished tracking for our second album. We got a couple of shows lined up in. Oops. Got a couple of shows lined up here in the summer, so that'll be pretty cool. And we're hoping to finish up the album. Just gotta get mixing and mastering done.
It's coming out on vinyl, isn't it?
We got the first album. We just got pressed on vinyl. So we're doing a kind of like a vinyl release show for that up in March. That's just for the first album, Misleading Evil. But yeah, that's pretty much it as far as what we got going.
Yeah, Riot City, we finished our full length. It's we just actually got the masters back, and it's sounding really sweet. So that should be coming out on all platforms. We're hoping in May. We haven't gotten an official release date yet from the label, but so yeah, we've been staying busy. Already started writing the second album. Last year was kind of good for us. We got kind of hooked onto the festival circuit through the States, going to Northwest in Seattle and Frost down in Ventura. The year before that, Chicago. So this year, April's kind of a big month for both of my projects. I think I got like 9 gigs in April between both bands on 2 different tours. So yeah, April's gonna be fun. And then we're looking at heading back east to do like Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa, probably with Metallian or Villain, things like that. So yeah, right now it's just kind of waiting for the album to come out and getting ready for everything that's going on.
That's great to hear, because I have been wanting to feature Riot City on my channel since I started the channel.
Oh man, we want the album. It's not quite Chinese democracy yet, but it's getting close.
Pause for information. Chinese Democracy took more than 10 years to be released and became the most expensive rock album ever produced, with costs exceeding $30 million. And it sucks. Now let's get back to Traveler, a band that just released a far better album and spent a little less than that $30 million. It's time again to listen to another song from Traveler. Which song should I play now?
So this one's called Fallen Heroes. It's gotten some pretty good reception so far from the reviews anyway. So yeah.
Good mid-face rocker.
Yeah.
It's a dynamic song. It's got a rocking part, it's got a fast part, it's got a sing-along chorus, it's got it all.
Good build up.
So everyone learn the lyrics for when we get over there.
Yeah. It has guitar.
Yeah.
It has a drum track.
Drums.
Yeah.
It has a real drum track.
Yeah, real drums.
There's also vocals in there, I think.
There's some vocals and guitars.
And they're tuned.
In-tune guitars. Yeah. Oh, it's a fun one to play.
If you listen carefully, you can hear a bass track too.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna be out of tune when we do this one live, though.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just to put everyone on edge. Yeah.
Most of the songs have bass tracks, unless you're talking about Injustice for All.
Oh no, yeah. No, we're just bullshitting, but yeah. No, the bass is...
We were contemplating going down that road, just going, fuck bass players, I'll just play with the volume off and just...
Yeah, that was actually one of the things I heard about the album was people, like a couple of bass players I know, they were like, wow, you can actually hear the bass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of heavy metal, the bass isn't as forward these days. I don't know. You don't really have those running bass lines.
No, it's just like an undertone.
Yeah. No, we like the Steve Harris approach.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So let's go with Fallen Heroes. Legends say it has a bass on it.
your voice, and I still hear it. The biggest fan is me. Glorified by my own lies. Nobody cares until they die. Now they're as big as the love of me, beating pain with a smile. You see, cry out your name, just like we did again and again.
Now let's take a break to talk about some things that are happening on the New Wave Tradition Heavy Metal Full Albums camp. It seems like I'm going to keep it true this year. It will be my first time on the festival and I'm super excited about going there and seeing all those bands, classic bands, new bands like Traveler. But I'm most excited about meeting people that follow my work through the channel. And if you see me there, please come and talk with me. It will mean a lot. I'm thinking of making a t-shirt of the channel to go there, but I don't know if I'll be able to do it. If not, if you see me, if you recognize me from the videos, it would be nice if you talk to me. And our next episode on the podcast is an interview with Oliver Weisheimer. He's the organizer of Keep It True. He books the bands that are playing there. It's a nice conversation, a long conversation, and we talk everything about Keep It True, the new edition, and of course older stuff. And I think you guys are going to like it very much. And if you want to help me continue do the work that I do here on the podcast and on the channel, especially for new bands, please donate. Consider donating to the Patreon account. It's patreon.com/new wave of traditional heavy metal, just the initials, full. I have the link on the description of this episode and all other episodes, and on all video descriptions on YouTube there's my Patreon there, and you can donate. If you want to donate or help with something else, you can also contact me. It will be very, very appreciated, especially in this moment while I'm still looking for a regular job, because what I do here on the channel takes a lot of time, and I know I could do much better, but I do what I can to help, and it would be nice to if you could help me continue doing it. Now talking about more positive things, I am starting a company with my wife. We are going to be focused on new and upcoming bands like the channel is, and we're going to help them promote their music the best way. My wife has a background in communications and I have the metal knowledge and the work that I've been doing on the channel, and I think I can use this to help bands promote their work for a fair price, because I know it's hard and many of these bands don't have the money to keep investing in promotion. So we're starting this company. We're still doing a few things before we start for real, but you will be hearing about us soon. But Matt, did you expect that Traveler was going to be where it is today when you started the band? Because things happen pretty quickly.
No, man, definitely not. I mean, my intention was just to release something that I, just like I had fuck, I can't speak. The expectations were so low, right? Like I just put it out there just to see if people liked it, and you know what, man, a lot of our success is thanks to you, man. For you sharing our demo, it created so much fucking traffic on that thing.
We owe you a couple of beers.
Yeah, we owe you some beers, man.
At least 10,000.
Yeah, so like when you shared it, people latched onto it, dude. Like, so you got our name out there more than anything else. But no, I had no expectations. I just wanted to do it for fun. So the second I saw people loving it, I kind of kicked me in the ass to make it a real thing. So, yeah, that's kind of how that panned out.
Yeah, this is amazing to hear, because I know that I help bands, but I don't know how this help can be measured. And this is a nice thing to hear, because many people like what I do, but other people don't like what I do, and I have to deal with this. So it's good to hear that I helped Traveler to get where it is.
Yeah, you definitely contributed, man. I mean, I don't see why people wouldn't like that kind of exposure, you know. So, I mean, I guess that's on them.
It's
But,
mostly labels, but
oh, is that right? Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense, I guess.
So I
But
think so.
I don't think our label would care too much if you shared our stuff, because Enrico and Brigida, they're cool as shit. They're all about the music, you know. They don't really I don't know. They're genuine about it, whereas a lot of bigger labels care about the bottom dollar a lot, and you know, they treat the band like a lot of bigger labels treat bands as though they're, you know, a product instead of, you know, hardworking musicians, and that's what differs with Gates of Hell and a lot of other labels. They treat us so well, so I don't think they would care.
I think all of our labels have done
Yeah,
pretty well for us.
yeah,
Like
for sure.
we've all made some pretty good choices on who to go with.
I can't agree to that.
I know you can't.
Yeah.
I know you can't, but that's for others.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
this was Dave.
Yes. Strike that from the record, though.
How about new?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't.
I was even contacted by Oliver from Keep It True, and he told me that he booked the band to play there at the festival just after listening to it on the channel. So it was one of these moments.
That was really unexpected too. Like, it's not often that, like, we hadn't even played our first show yet, and we got booked on to Keep It True. Like, we had no idea whether people were gonna like it or not. So to get asked to play something like that was pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's been a dream to be able to play that thing, man. So that's a total honor.
I've been itching to play that festival. I was supposed to play that festival with Stryker back in 2010, but that's when the volcano in Iceland erupted and canceled our flights, and we were all pretty pissed off about that.
When fuck volcanoes.
When
We
fuck
wrote
volcanoes.
Fuck Volcanoes, and that game the hit for the time. But ever since then, I always wanted to go to the festival, either like as play it or as a fan. But I just never been able to, just because of like it's at a weird time of the year in April. It's a lot easier to get there in summertime and whatnot. Since it's always been a dream of mine to get there, and finally I see that we got invited to play. I was like, no fucking way, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Let's hope another volcano doesn't erupt this time.
If it does,
Can better not.
Dave's
I
gonna
will
go
erupt.
tear Iceland apart.
I will.
We will fight that volcano.
I will fill that volcano full of concrete. Like, no, you will not erupt.
Yeah.
And it seems that they are paying attention to what's happening in Canada because Gatekeeper played there last year, and now you're playing there.
Yeah, it's great, man. I wish I saw a couple more Canadian bands on there this year, but no, it's an honor, man. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, a lot of festivals are. Like, when we went to Frost, there was 6 Canadian bands on there.
Was it? Oh yeah, there was. Yeah,
Cauldron,
yeah.
Spell, us,
That's right. Yeah.
you.
Yeah, Canada has it going on right now, man. There's some good talent kicking around.
And what do you think it can explain what's happening in Canada with so many good bands coming out of it recently?
It's so cold that we have nothing to do
Yeah.
but sit here and play
Yeah.
and write.
It's like minus 30 today. Sucks.
Yeah.
It is ridiculously cold.
You stay inside and you either, build Legos or play guitar.
Yeah, that and the bands that are getting noticed right now have also been around the block a few times, so everyone's more or less at I don't want to say their peak, but like everyone knows what they're doing now, so that's probably why the material is
They're
so
in their
strong.
prime.
Yeah, like they're
Not peak, in their prime.
in their prime. That's a better way to say it. But like bands like Spell and Gatekeeper and Metallian, they've all been around for a long time. So, I mean, I guess they're getting what's deserved.
Plus, it didn't hurt having like Skullfist and Stryker kind of pave the way to get people to pay attention to what's going on here, right? When you got bands like that getting out of the country and playing in a bunch of different areas, people start to go, well, what else is going on there?
Yeah. And also, like over the past like 5-10 years, like a lot of underground metal has like exploded, right? So people have been latching on to that classic sound more these days than ever. So I mean that could be why that all these bands are getting
And also, like with the evolution of the online community, like again with what you're doing with your channel, just exposing more bands out there, other bands or other like younger kids are looking at this. Oh wow, like there's like this is a real thing. Like I could start a band playing, you know, classic heavy metal, and there's an audience for it. There's you know, it's not just a handful of people in town. We're all over the place.
Yeah, it's a sign of the times, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is so opposite to what's happening here in the Netherlands, because I know Canada is huge compared to the Netherlands, but there's absolutely nothing of new bands here.
Really?
All the bands that play traditional heavy metal are bands from the 80s that are still active, or new bands formed by members of these 80 bands that left them. So you have no new bands with young blood.
Yeah, that's kind of surprising, man, considering, you know, the roots of where you're at.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's surprising because when you go to our neighbors, Belgium, they have a lot of new bands, and Germany on the other side of the border is brewing with new bands, just like Canada. So I don't know what's happening.
I don't know, man. Maybe you should hit the streets and start putting guitars in people's hands.
Yeah.
Now it's time for the last song of the day. You guys have a favorite one to play now?
Yeah.
Oh, what was that?
Speed Queen. Yeah.
Yeah, this one I guess showcases that, you know,
We can play fast.
we can play fast and we like to rip. So
Blazing leads in there for sure.
yeah,
Full Speed Queen or No Speed Queen.
yeah,
There you go.
perfect.
Yeah.
So let's go. This is the last song on the album. It's called Speed Queen.
Your nose is Manila.
So I was talking to Joff from Gatekeeper earlier today. One of the things we commented was the difficulties of touring in Canada.
Yeah, getting down to this.
And how the scenes are kind of you have pockets in the big cities. So how it is to be a Canadian band?
Well, I mean, we have a long way to travel in between cities, so touring Canada can be a huge pain in the ass. That's why, like, Eastern Canada is better for that, because a lot of the bigger cities are close together. And the United States and their fucking visa laws really, like, limit us from playing shows there. It's a hassle. So, yeah, we're pretty limited. But it doesn't really stop us, really. I mean, if we want to play the States, we'll figure it out and we'll play. But yeah, it can be a challenge though, man. That's why playing something like Europe is awesome, because there's no visas. We can just go over there as long
Everything's
as
so close.
Yeah.
But yeah, like for touring Canada, like I toured Canada 3 times as Striker, and
It's grueling.
those drives, man, they like, yeah, it takes a lot out of you.
There's a stretch in there, so there's Winnipeg, and then the next thing is like 11 hours away.
Well,
Like the day, but
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
If we're driving east from Calgary,
It's
we
2
could
days.
hit Regina in like 8 hours.
There's nothing else in Saskatchewan.
Yeah,
really.
and Regina like isn't exactly a booming metal scene either.
Yeah. I mean,
And then
Eternity's from there, but that's not really, that's
Right.
it.
yeah, and then Winnipeg is like a 14-hour drive from here. And I know they got some shit going on, definitely with like the punk and crossover scene. Probably because everyone hates their fucking life there.
Because it's Winnipeg.
Yeah.
And then from there, it's like, fuck, you got to drive through the mountains
Yeah.
of Ontario for like forever, for like a solid day.
Yeah.
So it's tough, man. But you know, we make it work.
Like even for me, like I have to drive 3 hours south because I'm from Edmonton. If I want to rehearse with these guys, I got to drive 3 hours south to come down just to jam with these clowns.
Yeah,
Yeah. But I do it because I want to.
yeah.
Man, this is hard because here, if I drive 14 hours just hitting different places, I could go to 7-8 countries. This is insane.
Yeah, man. That's what we're facing here. It's cool that, you know, how Europe is mapped out to where everything's so close. I wish we were that fortunate, but that's why you know, we're going to be probably going over to Europe more than playing around Canada, I'd say.
So, Matt, let me ask you something because I'm a fan of TNT. Knights of the New Thunder, Tell No Tales, and Intuition are in constant rotation on my playlist. But I read you have to use Traveler as your band's name because Tony Harnell wouldn't let you use the name you wanted.
Yeah, we actually, cause we were gonna call it Starbreaker, and then I didn't know that he was in another band called Starbreaker, and just to be, you know, polite, I didn't think he would really give a shit, but I just sent him a message out of respect. I was like, hey man, I'm starting a band called Starbreaker. Do you think that'd be cool? And within like 2 minutes, he responded, which is weird. You'd think someone with his like notability would kind of ignore messages from randoms, but right away he responded. He was like, no, this would be a serious issue, and basically shut us down, and gave us the reasons why, because of his label and all that. But I don't know. I get there's a lot of bands with the same name. You wouldn't really think that would be a huge deal, but I mean, if we're, I don't know. Yeah, I just thought it was funny. If anything, we just laughed about it. But so we settled on Traveler because it kind of fits the theme of Starbreaker lyrics and the whole spacey theme. And I like it more now than Starbreaker. I think it fits better.
Yeah, he would have a problem if he called his band Tyrant, for example.
Yeah. How many tyrants are there? A million.
Now that you guys have the first album out, what are your expectations for the release, and also your plans for the future? What can we expect from Traveler?
Well, expectations. I don't know. I don't like to put any expectations on anything. I think we're all just having a blast and feeling fortunate that we're in this kind of position. You know. Plans though, like we're gonna make sure that we put on a killer live performance first and foremost. So now that the album's out and ready to go, I mean, yeah, we're just gonna kick ass on stage for the time being. Like we got Keep It True and Legions of Metal, and then a couple album release shows in April before we head to Germany. Hamburg got added as well. I don't know, what do you guys think?
Yeah, it's very well covered everything.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. We're gonna rock hard. Right, free.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Shut up.
At least he's not the singer.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Hey, man.
Yeah, no, we talked about
Hey.
that earlier.
Yeah.
Rock hard. Ride free. I have the voice of an
Yeah,
angel.
Matt is
Serenade
definitely
Lover.
going to be the singer of the band one day.
I will kick JP out today.
That's why he's not here, right?
JP,
Yeah, that's why. Yeah,
JP, if you listen to this, you're fired.
yeah, that's why he's not here.
We still want you to be the caterer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still has to make.
Yeah.
He's got to make our fucking pizzas. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. We're just mostly focused on the live performance at the moment.
Yeah, I think you should eat some pizza in Europe when you're here, because they have some good pizza here.
We will. Darnold's been telling us all about this.
Yeah, there's this pizza place in Hamburg that is like some of the best pizza I ever had in my life. So I'm telling these guys when we go there, we're stopping there. We're going to get our fill.
I can't wait.
The mini pizzas.
Mini
pizzas.
€2 mini pizzas. I buy like 10 of them in a night. And it's like, I regret nothing.
Yeah, Traveler trivia. What's our favorite food?
Yeah.
Pizza. Pepperoni pizza.
I'll have my pizza with tuna fish, peanut butter, and grape jelly.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks so much, Matt, Dave, Toryin, and Chad for the interview. It was an honor to talk to you guys, and I hope you all the best for the future and for the tour, the shows, the Keep It True, the Legions of Metal.
Fucking A, thanks
Yeah,
a lot,
Thank
man.
you,
Thanks for
man.
having us.
Yeah,
Thank you for everything.
Yeah, you're the shit, dude. Thanks so much for sharing our music. Keep stealing our music, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will. This was it, guys. The third episode of the A Wave of Metal podcast with Traveler. I hope you liked the interview. And don't forget to buy their album on CD, vinyl, or tape via Gates of Hell Records. Is the self-titled debut by Traveler. They are playing this year on Keep It True and next year Up the Hammers in Greece. See you on the next episode with Oliver Weisheimer from Keep It True Festival. Bye bye, guys. Stay metal.